So, you didn't like the movie?
Fuck my ass!
You, you okay, man?
Don't touch me.
You seem angry.
Don't touch me.
Are you upset?
Shuck off!
Alright, later.
No, get back. Oh shit, look what you did.
Don't take it out on me. Anyway, so, we saw Welcome to Marwen. Calm down.
No, I will not be calm.
Alright.
This is as calm as it gets.
So that's how he feels about it. And, I will say, though, I was interested with the overture of the soundtrack, and then they went into Weird Town, literally. So, I had been seeing trailers of this movie for quite a while now, and I was like, oh, this could be really good. And, well, here we are, Mike. Do I need to cover my ears? Do I get a sound warning? Okay.
Man, fuck this movie!
Okay.
God damn, this piece of shit.
Okay, I didn't quite feel that way. My general thoughts were it's not very good. I feel about it the same way I feel about Downsizing, which was, oh, this is not very good.
Downsizing also made my worst top 10 worst that year, I think.
Well,
Correct me if I'm wrong. So,
feels bad. Okay, so
this is directed by Robert Zemeckis.
the guy who did Forrest Gump. That's what it said on the movie poster on the way out.
Yes, also the Back to the Future trilogy.
Well, that explains the DeLorean.
Yeah. And also made, let's take a look at his recent projects, because I looked it up earlier, and it's kind of fascinating. He also, no, not wrote, I don't care about what he wrote. And let's see, he also directed The Walk, which is also a movie I hated.
Okay.
A Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey one.
Okay.
And Beowulf.
Oh, man, I hated that movie.
And now he's making this garbage fire of a fucking movie. This fucking enabler, this is the creepiest not horror movie I've seen all year. Nobody has a problem with his main character's actions at any point. This is like honestly, I know we're supposed to be like this character. Oh my god, I'm having trouble finding my words. No.
I mean, no, not the movie wasn't okay.
It's not okay, Howard. That's the problem. Nobody said at any point said that what Stephen Carell was doing was not okay.
The girl kind of did.
Nobody did. Yeah. Even they was like, oh, he just fell for me. That's so. I feel bad. I still feel bad for him. He's still like a victim in this movie, even though he is fetishizing all of us in very overt manners, and everyone's going, oh, you.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they try to and first off, I don't know who the fuck this movie is for.
Shoe fetishists?
I guess is this for the ultra discriminate against men who wear women's shoes demographic?
I mean, maybe...
I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I can't imagine it's that large of a population.
I mean, from what I understand, it's just sort of like a true story about the guy who actually got beat up.
Oh, I'm just gonna take a wild fucking guess and say some liberties were taken.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look it up later. Either way, the way this is done is fucking despicable.
Yeah, I mean... I'm not gonna say I liked it because I didn't really like this movie. I think I used all my emotion on Anna versus the Apocalypse,
which I still stand was a decent movie. No.
It's better. It's a better movie than this one.
Oh, by a fucking far.
Yeah,
far and a fucking away.
I can admit better. That. Just like.
This movie thinks it is so goddamn deep and so goddamn inspiring and it's so fucking pretentious. It's so up its own fucking ass. Meanwhile, it is promoting the creepiest protagonist of the year, as if it's like, oh, it's just because he hurt his head. Which, I mean, I'm not condoning violent acts of any kind, but the way they're bending over backwards to justify his coping mechanism is gross.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying about the real life person. I don't know the real life person. I don't know anything about him. But it's like the way everyone in this movie, like, never once questioned what he is doing. It, like, no one ever expresses like concern or questions it or shows anything beyond of, oh, well, it's just an artistic measure. I am honored to be a part of this fetishist display. Which is openly fetishist. They show a picture of a Nazi looking a bunch of bare-chested ladies at one point.
Oh, yeah, right at the end?
Yeah, at the ending shot, there was a part where, and by the way, okay. For those who don't know anything about this movie, which I'd be surprised, the trailer's fucking everywhere right now. Welcome to Marwen is about a man who apparently likes to wear women's shoes, which part is not said in the trailer. Now, I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but it's more of just the way that they act. Like, apparently this is like, they try to call it a hate crime, which I guess it technically is.
Well, no, it's a hate crime because the Nazi fellas used the exact word queer whilst beating him.
So I guess that's, I mean, technically you can call it that, but they seem to be implying that it's just because he likes to wear women's shoes and he is a victim because of that.
I mean, he definitely got his ass beat.
Yeah, he did. I mean, again, I'm not denying that. It's more like, I don't know what you're trying to say other than Nazis are bad.
I mean,
which I guess nowadays is a point you have to repeat, but...
Apparently. I sort of got the idea that he was, like, because his persona, Hoagie, is still somewhat of a charismatic fella, kind of.
It's wish fulfillment. That's what makes it even grosser.
I know, but like he's being a man in his own way, and he just happens to like women's shoes, and it's like it's not part of like toxic masculinity or anything like that.
No, it's not part of toxic masculinity.
But toxic masculinity also shouldn't beat his ass.
It's gross wish fulfillment. That's the way it's presented. Okay. So anyway, he gets beaten up and apparently loses all his memories, ability to draw, all that stuff. So he makes this little town called Marwen that's full of all these dolls, and he makes World War II photos out of. He buys one of himself, and the movie frequently cuts back to like animated portion, like Toy Story-esque portions of the dolls doing stuff, which I guess is supposed to be reflective of his real life trauma or his real life emotions at the time. Yeah, it's so fucking deep.
Honestly, I thought he was just tripping out from all the pills he was popping.
That too. Either or, but you know, it's supposed to be symbolic of his current struggles. But one thing at a time. So anyway, but all the women in this village are these over-sexualized versions of women he knows in real life, which is already creepy in itself.
To be fair, he's literally buying glamanistas from the hobby
My
store.
point does not change. They are based and named after women he knows, and they are being openly sexualized. And this is never portrayed as creepy.
Yeah.
Never. Not once.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird.
And it's more like, okay, if... I'm not even saying, like, making dolls, like, based off people you know and, like, trying to make art with them is a bad thing. It's more just how this is clearly a fetish.
Okay.
I mean, am I wrong?
I mean, you sound like you're kink shaming.
It's more like nobody's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, no. I get where you're coming from. Like, people, like, he's weird, and the town and the people around him are letting him be weird. But, like, it's just sort of like, what's the best way to put it? Maybe he's playing the trauma card too hard. That's what I would put it as. So, like, I see where you're coming from. I just wouldn't call, like, I don't feel the same way you do.
Okay, well, elaborate.
I just feel like maybe the guy definitely shouldn't name a new redhead doll after his new neighbor, Nicole, without an E. Mm-hmm. That's a little much.
A little? That's a lot much.
That's a lot much. Yeah.
And again, it's never portrayed as anything questionable.
I mean,
not once.
Nicole was definitely uncomfortable.
Only to the part, only in the scene where he proposes to her.
No. Like, there are like little hints that she's becoming more and more uncomfortable.
I didn't get that from the writing. I think that was only the acting.
Okay, like
in this awful screenplay.
The bit after she finds the one doll getting whipped in the church, and then.
But then she immediately goes, "Oh, I'm so interested in the story. Please tell me all the story."
At that exact moment, Nicole doesn't quite exist. So then afterwards is when Nicole, the doll, exists in the town. And then that's when she starts showing those photos to her. And then she's like, oh.
But even when that does happen, it still boils down to, oh, but we're still supposed to feel bad for him, so I'm not going to hold this against him in any meaningful way. Even though any realistic person would go like, this is really creepy, stop doing this. I'm not comfortable with this, please stop. But nobody ever does that. In fact, there was like, what am I doing now? And then they said like, oh, you, and they're doing something that's openly like sexual or uncomfortable or make anyone creepy or creeped out. Case in point, the hobby shop girl. There's a part where they do he has the doll like have her shirt ripped open and her breast is hanging out. Now they're dolls, so they don't have nipples, but it's very clearly like just her shirt's and breast open, and she's running out of the church with her shirt with topless basically.
Right.
And then she walks up and goes like, "Does my shirt?" And it's like, where's my other shirt? And he goes, "Oh, it got ripped off." And she goes, "Again." And he goes, "Yeah, those crazy Nazis." And Stephen Carell's response was like, "You're just enabling this shit." Him dealing with his sexual needs in an incredibly unhealthy way.
I mean, not Nicole, was it Roberta? Roberta was, you could get pretty good hints that she was kind of into him.
I mean, so yeah, but that doesn't make it okay, Howard.
No, it's not okay that he's getting enabled, man. Yo, for real, calm yourself.
I'm mad, dude. This is a projected use, projected at the movie.
Fine.
So don't take it personally. It's just a movie.
For real though, like, yeah, it's not great to enable him, but I don't actually know the time frame of when he got his ass beat. But it sounds pretty recent.
They said 3 years.
3? Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, get a shrink.
Yeah, fucking right.
Or at least he does go outside technically.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know, like, I feel very confused with this movie. That's how I'm feeling.
I found this unbelievably creepy.
It's just sort of like the swap between mediums is a little jarring to me. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like technical failures.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
So like, but the swap between mediums is really jarring, but the lighting is really good.
Like, okay, let me put it this way: to give credit's due, the animation is good, the lighting is good, the acting is good.
The acting feels Steve.
I mean, for what they were given, they did what they could with it.
Okay, fine. I felt Steve Carell was really creepy, though.
Like, yeah.
If that was... I mean,
I don't think that was intentional. But that's what... like I'm saying, I don't think it's Steve Carell's fault, though. I think it's a fault of the screenplay.
Yeah. So, and I even enjoyed some of the way that the movie was scored and, like, how scenes that were supposed to have action had action, although those action scenes came at weird times.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was what I was saying in the theater. It's like, this movie felt like it was sort of like an introspective journey of healing, but it just comes off really, like, it just failed at executing, and it feels really off-putting to watch. Up to the point where there were 4 people in the theater, and then one of them left.
Yeah, the other 2 was us.
And
it was you, me, and one other person.
Yeah, so there were only 3 people left in the theater, which means that, I mean, according to small sample size statistics, you have a 25% chance of just leaving.
Dude, I'm mad he fucking stayed.
So you can, like, just scream at the theater. We had popcorn, man. We could have thrown popcorn at the theater.
Like, at this point, somebody would have come in to complain just from how loud the yelling was.
Doors were closed. You used to work at AMC. MC, man. Those things are pretty good at keeping sound in.
I know. I just imagine like one employee coming. It's like, everything all right? We get complaints, and one guy's yelling "fuck" over and over.
Fuck!
Like, fuck! Just one long scene was "fuck" for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
This piece of shit.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay, man. This happens like at least once a year.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, it's not as bad as like Collateral Beauty, which is another. That one was just despicable.
I don't know, man. Like the last movie that like equally pissed me off was that one Tyler Perry movie we saw.
Nobody's Fool.
Yeah.
I wasn't as mad on I wasn't as mad on that one as I was in this one.
I don't know,
because I came in there expecting the movie to be awful. So
I don't know, man. Like I saw that movie and it physically upset me.
that's how I feel about this one.
This movie like confuses me and like makes me want to like walk away.
See, I've seen enough Tyler Perry movies to know what to expect when I see a Tyler Perry movie come up. This one, I would honestly put this above Nobody's Fool as far as movies I hated this year.
Damn, that's sad.
Yeah, because like this is one of the cases where like this is, to me, it is kind of shocking that like the amount of enabling and amount of just creep factor that's in this movie, and again how it's never called out on at any point in the movie, and those movies piss me off. When you see, and Collateral Beauty had the same problem, which I don't know if you ever saw that piece. That was basically a movie where Will Smith played a guy who was grieving the loss of his daughter, and his 3 friends decided to call on people to pretend to be the embodiments of, what was it?
Oh, you told me about this, and I saw the commercial for it, and then you were like, and then it got really creepy because like they're paid actors, but they like the personifications of like the past,
like death, time, and love, I think.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. And like that was also the movie where the people that are praised as the heroes were the ones that hired the actors. Same thing. They're never portrayed as the bad guys. Sorry. Same kind of thing. It was like, no, what you're doing is awful. Everything you're doing is awful. You should be called out for being awful. Now, granted, that movie was worse than this one, but I feel kind of same. Like, what you're doing is creepy. What you should be called out for being creepy. Why is no one calling you out for being creepy? Because it's not even so much as like, oh, I made this person based on you. It's like, oh, because I made kind of charming in a way. It's like, I'm gonna make this person that I made to look like you with the shoe I predicted you would wear. And I'm going to have him actively make out with my interpretation of me and a little doll I made of me and all the women I find attractive and sexualize.
So what I felt that Captain Hoagie is what he aspires to be.
That still doesn't make it better.
No, it doesn't. It's like book club. Like you can still like have different interpretations of the symbolism, but agree that the book sucks.
The symbolism is still fairly easy to catch on. It's not exactly complicated.
I mean, I felt like the one failure in writing was like, you're his addiction.
I mean, there was a lot of failures in writing here, Howard.
No. I mean, like. That's like a I wanted to the show over tell kind of thing. Like all you really needed in that bit was just the Nazi tattoo on the one girl doll, and then that's more show and tell.
Okay, for reference, what Howard's talking about.
That's the climax.
There's the other doll who's supposed to be like the evil doll who is like some kind of like German witch or whatever.
She's a Belgium witch.
Oh, sorry, Belgium witch.
Of Marwen.
Who's not based on any woman she knows, but he can't get rid of her for some reason. Like, wow, maybe it's symbolic of something.
And her hair color is the same as the pills that he's been popping.
Yeah, as if you can't figure it out.
So it's just...
And then it turns out at the very end, she has the long wear glove, and then in the Marwen universe, he pulls down the glove, and it turns out there's a Nazi tattoo right there. And he goes like, you're a spy! You're his addiction!
You're the one who keeps bringing the Nazis back to life! And I felt like that was something that was already previously established. That she brings the Nazis back to life.
It was previously established.
I know. Also, I will say, though, that the little Lego DeLorean that he makes was kind of bitchin'.
Yeah, I'll give it that one.
Like, dude, the wheels electronically, like, bent downwards, and it had a lava lamp attached to it. I'm like, okay, this movie's fucking weird, but that thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, because then they decided to add a time machine for some reason, and I don't fucking
Yeah, because it sends people 15 million light years into the future.
How is this art exactly?
No, just
That's like me like smashing my action figures in my backyard. I'm making art now.
I don't know. The light years thing was like the thing that
Like that was more like you kind of lost artistic integrity. It was like, and then there was a time machine. And I'm kind of like, it's like I don't know if that actually happened or not.
And it's just for me. It's just like, what's the point of the time machine? Like as far as a writing thing kind of goes, it's like, do we need that? Can she just not? Can he just like put the doll away in the rip, bucket?
Yeah, this movie like personally offends me. I think the more I think I think why I'm so angry is I feel like my intelligence is actively insulted.
Yeah, I could see that happening to you.
You make it sound like that happens a lot.
Oh, bunny.
The way you said that. Now I'm even more offended. Oh, Christ, this fucking piece of shit.
Hey, buddy. You wanna take a dump into all 287 pairs of his shoes?
I don't have that much diarrhea in me, Howard.
We can eat KFC.
That might work. Mix that with some Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
And then just shake it up really hard.
I mean, I guess he... Ugh. Alright, I deserve that. But you know what? It's still not as weird or gross as the bag of meat that we kept walking past.
Oh yeah, it's this weird bag of meat that's in the parking lot of the theater.
So weird. Like this movie.
You're obsessed with that.
Oh my
bag.
god, I get it. This movie is a weird bag of meat in a parking lot.
That's been soaked in rain for the last 3 hours.
Got there at 1 though.
Okay, 5 hours.
6 hours.
6 hours. Rotting bag of meat on a car.
That's what
Not even like an actual like safety bag. It's like a fucking garbage bag.
It's like a grocery bag.
No, it was a garbage bag.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a hefty bag.
It's so weird. That's what this movie is.
You are obsessed with that bag of meat.
I found my metaphor.
Sure, if that helps you. Sure. I mean, it's more like the way this character is acted so clashes with the tone it's clearly going for. Because it wants you to feel sorry for this Mark guy from beginning to end, but every time he's on screen, he's talking about Marwen, he doesn't fucking blink. The camera is right on his face, and he has this really creepy smile. He looks like this.
Stop it.
It's like if this was I think it's like all you need to do is change the soundtrack, and this is a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's all. And if you could and it's supposed to be charming. And it's supposed to be heartfelt.
Yeah. I feel like if you told the story from like Nicole's perspective, this would be a very different movie.
Yeah, this would be like Photo Booth. That's what this movie would be.
Oh, is that the Robin Williams?
Yeah, the Robin Williams movie. That's what this would be. It's Photo Booth. No, 24-hour photo, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's the only
24-hour photo. It was just like that with reverse roles. That's what this movie is.
Fuck, dude.
Because like I'm thinking after especially it's a part where he kind of falls in love with Nicole, his neighbor across the street, who has this douchebag boyfriend ex-boyfriend who doesn't show up again after a point.
No, he's only there to poke at his PTSD.
Yeah, and then he shows up twice and he never shows up again, even though they're trying to they kind of show him off as like a central antagonist at one point.
And the crazy part is this is a guy that showed up, realized who her neighbor was, Googled him for his trauma, and then learned a German phrase to poke the PTSD bear. Now,
granted, his reaction of looking out the car and seeing his neighbor's dolls and some of the Nazi toys out there, that's also kind of legitimate enough. That's questionable. If I walked past a neighbor and they had Nazi dolls just sitting out there, I'd be like,
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know if I want to live next to that. This is probably why the original owners of that one house moved away.
I'd move really fucking fast.
or rent it out.
Oh god! And then, like even so, anyway,
Non-refundable deposit.
so he falls in love with this Nicole woman, and he makes the doll version of Nicole hook up with his ideal version of
and
himself.
then even after getting like rejected in real life, he like continues to do it. So like that he has those like feelings like.
And then he leaves the pictures outside of her door.
With a thank you.
With a thank you, which is like, oh my god, he's gonna turn her into a living doll.
Jeez, dude, just like put the lotion on the skin, right?
Exactly. It's gonna be like one of the main protagonist, like the main antagonist in a Dexter season.
Jesus.
Where he just walked down and he's like, I made her a doll, now she can be with me forever. And like her, like everything here has been like kind of sawed off so it looks like doll joints.
Oh.
And he controls it like strain and take pictures.
Man, that would be an interesting Dexter antagonist season.
Right? They kind of did do that with season 5.
I thought
No, season 6.
I thought that was the guy who was like the god serial killer. Like
Yeah, that's from season 6.
yeah. Because
That season sucked.
Because he did the one killing with the multiple body parts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
on
of.
the horse. Yeah.
That
was weird.
That was weird. That was the one where, like, remember that one was like that was like the major like nosedive for the series. Where everyone's like, yeah, the other guy's clearly not there, and like, well, maybe he is, maybe he's in there. It's like, oh, but he was in his head the whole time. And the entire was like, we fucking knew that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Yeah. Welcome to Marwen. Fuck you.
You can skip this one.
Don't waste your time, man.
Like,
Don't do it.
Go watch Bumblebee, Spider-Verse.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good movies you can go see right now. Even Mary Poppins. Fuck, I heard that movie's good. Go see that one instead.
Yeah. Can we watch something else tomorrow?
I have Christmas plans.
Oh fuck, that's right. You have family here.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay. All by myself. What are the trailers?
You can always call Jeff. I don't know if he's doing it.
Oh, probably. Who knows?
We got a trailer for Dumbo.
Oh yeah, I looked at the clown elephant today. I did not like it, but I was able to look at
It's
it.
like you tolerated it better than last time, so it's still it's a step in the right direction.
Oh,
now.
don't touch me.
You need to know how to tolerate these things, Howard. I don't like spiders. I could still watch Lord of the Rings 3.
Oh yeah. All right.
Rocket Man, which hopefully will be better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't know. Eggy, right?
Yeah, I mean he's a good actor.
Yeah, but is he a good Elton John?
I can see him doing it.
I mean, he hung out with the guy enough on set, right?
Yeah, not to mention he also played Eddie the Eagle. He's really good at playing character bits.
Whatever.
It was kind of a schlocky movie, but at the same time he was clearly having a good time with it.
Okay.
And then we got Brightburn.
Oh, dude, that was a very scary version of Superman that could have been.
I kind of have issues with this trailer, I'm not gonna lie.
Sure, go for it.
It's more like, Superman was kind of supposed to be about like how aliens weren't all that bad and they could be accepted and helpful to overall society. When you make him a serial killer, you're kind of expressing the lesson that aliens should never be trusted.
I mean, whatever sells in the red states.
I guess so. I'm kind of like this. Like, maybe I'm projecting way too much onto it. To be fair, but like, it feels like there's a little bit like I feel like this is gonna send the wrong message.
I feel like people are gonna pick up too hard on the Superman thing, and then they're just not. I don't know. The average person isn't gonna think too hard about immigration with a movie about evil Superman.
I mean, you're probably right, but still, that bothers me personally.
I mean, heck, I have my opinions about the new Aladdin movie that I won't say right now.
Fair enough. Then we got Breakthrough.
Which one was that?
Speaking of red states, that was the Christian movie.
Oh, the literal God movie.
The literal God movie.
Pray to life into my son.
So it's Miracles from Heaven again.
It was actually made from the guy who did Miracles from Heaven.
It did pop up in the trailer.
I think that's what it said.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it feels kind of like that movie.
I mean,
Which, as far as like Jesus movies go, that one wasn't that bad.
It could be the War Room, right?
Oh God, no. And it still hasn't quite reached Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas level.
Still haven't seen it. Won't.
Come on, buddy. It's great.
Buddy,
Buddy.
no.
Yes. No. It's great.
No means no.
But it's so funny.
Watch your privilege. No means no.
Marwen didn't. Marwen didn't ask consent from anybody.
Yeah.
Which they can sue him for that. Just throwing that out there. Oh my god, isn't it romantic?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that a few times.
Yeah, it's a PG. She's stuck in a PG-13 romantic comedy.
Yeah. And then we got On the Basis of Sex.
Yeah.
I don't think that one's going to be very good. You can usually tell when an overly Oscar baity movie is being too overly Oscar baity when none of the other characters have any conversation that don't relate to the overt purpose of the movie.
What's next?
And then the last one we got was for Glass. Movie I actually do want to see.
Yeah, I want to watch Unbreakable and
Split.
Split.
Yeah, that'd be a good fun double feature.
Splice.
No, it's a very different movie.
Well,
That's one where Adrian Brody fucks an alien.
what the fuck?
Yeah, that happens.
Okay, that is how I'm going to remember the splice method from now on in JavaScript. What the fuck?
It's one where the pianist fucks an alien.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. I got.
That's the last dress. So, final thoughts for Welcome to Marwen.
I don't know, man. I'm hungry. Let's see if McDonald's is open.
I'm down. Bye, guys.